Government policies are not just headlines in the news. They are the rules that shape our daily lives. When the government decides how much to tax, it affects how much money we have to spend. When it sets regulations for clean air and water, it impacts our health and environment. These decisions have a ripple effect, reaching every corner of our lives. Think about the roads we drive on and the schools our children attend. These are funded by our taxes, demonstrating the direct link between government policies and our daily experiences. Even the price of groceries can be influenced by government subsidies and trade agreements. Understanding these connections helps us become more informed citizens. It's not always easy to see the connection between a policy announced in Washington and our own lives. But by paying attention to how our elected officials vote and the issues they prioritize, we can start to understand the impact of their decisions. We can then hold them accountable for creating a society that works for everyone. Remember, government policies are not abstract concepts. They have real-world consequences for each of us. By understanding how these policies work, we can better engage in the democratic process and advocate for ourselves and our communities. Inflation is a word we hear a lot, but what does it really mean for our wallets? Simply put, inflation is when prices for goods and services go up. This means the money we have buys less than it did before. For example, if a loaf of bread cost $2 last year and now costs $2.50, that's inflation at work. This increase in prices affects our purchasing power, making it harder to afford the things we need and want. Groceries, gas, and housing all become more expensive, putting a strain on our budgets. For people on fixed incomes, like retirees, inflation can be especially challenging. The causes of inflation are complex and can include factors like supply chain disruptions and government spending. Understanding these factors can help us make more informed financial decisions. For instance, during periods of high inflation, it might be wise to reconsider large purchases or find ways to cut back on spending. It's important to remember that inflation is a natural part of the economic cycle. However, by understanding how it works and taking steps to mitigate its impact, we can protect our finances and maintain our standard of living. While government policies can sometimes feel overwhelming, it's important to remember that there are also programs designed to help us. These programs, funded by our taxes, aim to provide a safety net and create opportunities for all citizens. From healthcare to education to job training, these initiatives can make a real difference in our lives. One example is the Affordable Care Act, which has helped millions of Americans access health insurance. There are also programs like SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and TNF, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, that provide food and financial assistance to those who qualify. Navigating these programs can sometimes feel daunting, but there are resources available to help. Websites like benefits.gov and usa.gov provide comprehensive information about government programs and eligibility requirements. Local community centers and libraries also often offer assistance with applications and enrollment. By taking advantage of these programs, we can access essential services, improve our quality of life, and build a more secure future for ourselves and our families. Remember, these programs are not handouts, they are investments in our collective well-being. Section 4. Staying healthy in a changing world. Our health is our most valuable asset, and it's directly affected by government policies. From regulations on food safety to funding for medical research, the decisions made by our leaders have a profound impact on our well-being. It's crucial to stay informed about these policies and advocate for those that promote public health. For example, government-funded research has led to breakthroughs in the treatment of diseases like cancer and HIV/AIDS. Similarly, regulations on clean air and water help protect us from environmental hazards that can harm our health. Access to affordable healthcare is also essential for maintaining good health. Programs like Medicare and Medicaid provide healthcare coverage to millions of Americans, while the Affordable Care Act has expanded access to insurance and preventive care. By staying informed about health-related policies, we can make informed decisions about our own well-being and advocate for a healthcare system that works for everyone. Remember, our health is not just an individual responsibility. It's a collective one that requires a strong partnership between citizens and their government. Section 5. Real news in a world of misinformation. In today's digital age, we are bombarded with information from countless sources. While the internet has democratized access to knowledge, it has also made it easier than ever to spread misinformation. This is especially true when it comes to news about government and politics, where the stakes are high and emotions can run deep. It's crucial to be critical consumers of information and to verify anything we see or hear before we share it. Look for news from reputable sources, such as established news organizations with a track record of accuracy. Be wary of headlines that seem too sensational to be true or that confirm your existing biases. One way to spot misinformation is to check for a variety of sources reporting on the same story. If you see the same information from multiple outlets with different perspectives, it's more likely to be accurate. Also, be wary of information that is emotionally charged or that uses fear-mongering tactics. Remember, staying informed is not just about knowing what's happening, it's also about being able to separate fact from fiction. By being critical thinkers and responsible consumers of information, we can protect ourselves from misinformation and make informed decisions about our lives and our communities.